No plans to leave. Michael Owen says transfer speculation is pie in the sky, despite rumours of a reunion with Sven. Joey Barton starts a home game for the club for the first time, and Pompey include Nico Kranjčar, who's been named in Slaven Bilic's Croatia squad to face England. Attacker shows some nifty footwork. It just breaks to Smith here though, and now for Milner. You look for Michael Owen here. Milner's pass will find Owen, who will find Nzogbia. Nzogbia twisting and turning. Nzogbia still for Alan Smith to hit. Deflection, and the deflection requires a very smart save from David James in the end. Smith's shot took a wicked kick, and David James here diving away to his left-hand side with a very, very good save. Muntari. Kranjčar. Muntari bursting on here for Portsmouth. It's a good challenge from Barton. Ball breaks though to Benjani's possession. It's Benjani deflection. It'll go behind for a corner after Zimbabwean. Benjani strike there had lots of sting about it. Nico Kranjčar will go short to John Utaka instead. Utaka doesn't beat the first defender, who was Milner. Utaka again. Got away. It's Pamarot! Oh, magnificent from Noé Pamarot! It is a rocket from the Frenchman. Well, Harper in goal never got a sniff of this. It was really shifting. Nicky Butt away, on comes Pamarot, and look at that! Utaka's ball in, and Noé Pamarot runs onto this and just let rip and nearly burst the back of Harper's net with this. Utaka can break away. Bouba Diop for Benjani. Benjani chasing on here with Kasapa. Benjani strong. Benjani! He scored again. Benjani, goal number 8 of the season. He was simply too strong there for Newcastle, the Zimbabwean. And Benjani makes it 2 for Pompey. It is a lightning start inside the first 9 minutes. Newcastle 0, Pompey 2. Well, Kasapa here was not strong enough for Benjani, who picked out the finish and left Harper standing. Allardyce there alongside owner and chairman. Yet to lose a home game as Newcastle manager, but 2 goals down here inside of 10 minutes. Taylor's header, Utaka will chase against Kasapa. It's John Utaka this time for 3. Utaka away from the goalkeeper. It is 3. This is just unbelievable. 3 goals inside 11 minutes for Portsmouth. John Utaka. It was clumsy and laboured defending for sure, but the finish was precise. And the boos ring around St James's Park. It is a magnificent start for Portsmouth. It is a horror show for Newcastle already. Utaka. Broke from Muntari. This though is Nzogbia. Charles Nzogbia. James with a save, and Owen! Michael Owen 3-1. It's a foothold. It's a way back in for Newcastle. It is Michael Owen with his 3rd league goal of the season. And Nzogbia's shot here was too hard to handle for David James. It came back out to Michael Owen, who was onside. It comes off the defender Sol Campbell in the end. It may be an own goal. Off the goalkeeper, then off Owen, off James, and off Campbell. That is an own goal. And Newcastle making a change here already. It's a defensive one. David Rosenal is going to come on, the big Czech defender. And Claudio Kasapa, who doesn't appear to be injured. He's going to see his number being held up here. Defensive change, and the big Brazilian, to the boos of the home fans, is going away to be replaced here by Rosenal. Sean Davis. Ball in here towards Benjani, deflects off the defender Rosenal behind for a Pompey corner. Sean Davis is towards the far post here for Portsmouth. Nico Kranjčar with the corner. Sol Campbell's in there, pushing and shoving, ball is loose. And Newcastle should bring the ball away now. Jose Enrique. Distan. This is Benjani with Rosenal. Jose Enrique. Benjani still there, and Nicky Butt comes in, and no messing. Now, there was an appeal for handball here when the corner came in. Let's have a look. Defender is Rosenal. Rosenal here rose. Now, does the ball hit the arm intentionally? Pamara. Sean Davis. Papa Bouba Diop. Diop. Martins with a challenge. Foul challenge. Obafemi Martins. And Montari is coming across here with real intent. He wants to take the free kick, I think. It's taken out by Montari, and the cross is sent in towards Sol Campbell, and Diop's header. They claim handball there, Portsmouth. There's real appeals as the header was won by Papa Bouba Diop. In comes the cross in now. Was there a handball against Abdoulaye Faye? On this near side is Nico Cranshaw. Lovely first touch there from Cranshaw to just kill the ball and take it on. Cranshaw felt he was pulled back, and the referee concurs. Barton's challenge, Pompey free kick. Good game for Nico Cranshaw today. Barton here does have a hold of him. And a goal here for the away team would surely seal the points and maybe kill the game. It's Nico Cranshaw who drives the ball in, it's gone in! He took a kick off the defender, I think Stephen Taylor on the way through as well. Nico Cranshaw with a free kick, and the final touch was off a defender. Cranshaw will, I think, claim the goal. It is 4-1 for Portsmouth here. Cranshaw's ball in, there's the key touch. It may well go down as a Stephen Taylor own goal. Cranshaw's ball in now, the final touch is clearly off the defender. Cranshaw's ball whipped into a dangerous area, and Taylor with the final touch, which wrong-foots Harper and makes it 4-1 Pompey. Well, with more than 50 minutes to go, these fans were already heading for the exit at Newcastle. It's been a horror show on home soil, heading towards their first home defeat of the season, and they can see no more. And Kanu, via the referee, finds Diop. Pamara. This will be the final assault of the game for either team. Noé Pamara, and there's the full-time whistle. Pompey European contenders, you bet. It's a first home defeat for Big Sam as Newcastle manager too, and Pompey's first win here for 58 years since 1949. The full-time score at St James's Park, Newcastle 1, Portsmouth 4.
Tony, great performance built on the foundations of a quite wonderful start.
Yeah, I think we got 3 in 12 minutes, I think it was, but excellent performance, some great individual displays, and we kept the ball really well today. It was really pleasing.
What's changed the way Portsmouth play away from Fratton Park, do you think, this season?
Now it's okay because we go out, we're going for away games with a mentality to win. It's different than before. We're going to defend, now we attack a lot when we're going for away games.
The only change made with Rosnell on for Casapo. What was the thinking behind that substitution?
We just felt we needed to do something straight away, and I think Dave did pretty well when he went on. So that's it was just a case of having to do something pretty quickly.
So you had to make sure this was just a one-off.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly not going to stand here and make any excuses, certainly, but. Really, it is important how we respond to this now, because to get beaten at home by a pretty big margin is something that we don't want to happen.
Yeah, problems for Newcastle. What a magnificent performance from Portsmouth. Yet again, their fourth win on their travels this season.
It's a real success story, isn't it? We keep going back to playing the big four early on and then having to make the most of it and picking up points, but to go to St James's Park and the first victory for an eternity and to do it in style, the first goal was phenomenal. Great performance, Marcel, by Portsmouth.
Let's say that they have really tried, to play behind the defence and put the defence of Newcastle in trouble. You know, they have strikers who are able, you know, to go forwards and fast, and I'm very happy about Portsmouth here.
At times, though, Newcastle were a shambles at the back, particularly early on in the game.
Well, in the first game we mentioned 4 great centre-backs, but Newcastle didn't have any today, and they've had problems in that area, you know, for the last 9 or 10 years. We're going to show you a graphic here of who they've signed. Marcelino was a disaster, Bramall wasn't great, Woodgate was always injured, Boomsong was terrible, and then they've had 4 since June, and they're no further forward, you know. And we watch it today. We pick up here. This is for the second goal. Palmer scores a brilliant first goal, but this is Faye. Just plays the ball absolutely nowhere, gets cut out, and then it's so simple. It's between the 2 centre backs, and Kasaba just brushed off it with consummate ease. Harper absolutely no chances back in it, and then it gets worse. No communication. Bad header there by Taylor. Kasaba again. Gets caught on his heels, brushed off it again.
Got to be stronger than that.
Oh, you've got to be stronger than that. I mean, that's terrible. And he gets taken off, and then it just goes from bad to worse, because the final goal, Taylor, who I thought had a great season last season, you know, you look at that there and you think, God, what's all that about? And Harper's absolutely shell-shocked. As I say, Taylor looked to me like he could be the answer at centre-back, but Sam watched him play in one match, then dropped him. Now he brings him back at right back. So I don't know what the answer is.
Kasaba's a player you'd have seen at Lyon in France.
I mean, 2 years ago he was the captain of Lyon. He was playing very well, and he was, you know, one of the leaders of the team. And he looks like today he had an injury also last season, and I think he didn't really recover. But I hope he will think, if he's a professional, he will come back at a good level. I hope so.
Yeah, but I mean, we see it time and time again where everybody focuses on the great forward players, and yet if you haven't got a defence, I mean, Marcel and I would say that, but if you haven't got a defence, you haven't got a lot.
You still need to score goals. 2 more encounters now. Shortly we'll see Everton entertain Birmingham, but first we've got Fulham versus Reading. One of the worst home records against one of the worst away records at Craven Cottage for us was Martin Fisher.
Fulham have 9 players injured and 2 suspended, so they call up 20-year-old Nathan Ashton at left-back for his Premier League debut. Reading sticks the side that beat Newcastle last week. That means Kevin Doyle will play on the right wing again. He got the winner here last season. Omozuzi, cleared by Gunnarsson. And corner given. Well, Shorey let it go. He seemed confident it came off Camara's head last. Stefanovic and Hughes are both in there to join Dempsey and Camara. And it's not clear as far as Stephen Davis to drive the second time. And then in by Hughes, and it's a good block by Hanneman. 15 minutes with nothing to do, but the Reading keeper was needed there. And the resultant corner quickly taken. Whipped in and away by Kitts now as far as Simon Davis! Great strike! Oh, he scored a wonder goal at Sunderland last week. He scored another here at the Cottage. And Fulham's recent drought here is well and truly over. Reading caught cold with a quickly taken corner. Kitson could only clear as far as Simon Davis. And look at that for a strike. Fulham are in front. Kitson to chase. Stefanovic across. Kitson's done well to get that in. Hughes clearance straight to Hunt. Hunt caught on the edge by Omozuzi. It's a yellow card for the 18-year-old. How close was this to being inside the box? Harper and Shorey over the ball. Reading have 5 in the box. It's Harper to curl it in. Oh, pushed away by Niemi and just away from the arriving Michael Duberry. Not sure whether Doyle helped this on. Leiter's touch on. Hunt's in there. Kitson as well. Hunt's arriving! Great save, Niemi. Kitson to turn it back in. Hunt's in there. Doyle too. So too significantly for Fulham was Dejan Stefanovic. Fulham was struggling here. Hunt looked like he was in. It's a great stretch by Niemi. Kitson does what he can to turn it back in. 2 arriving for Reading. Stefanovic got there first. Doyle's there! It's been coming, and Reading have grabbed it. And it's that man, Kevin Doyle, 4th goal in his last 4 Premier League games. All the second half pressure that Reading have mustered, finally rewarded with the equaliser. And Doyle nods home, and it's oh so familiar for Fulham. In front at the break, level soon after it. Dare say the theme of Steve Coppell's half-time team talk to his players would have been to stress Fulham's problems in holding on to leads. Simon Davis doing well again, cleared by Gunnarsson. Davis once more. Omazuzi to swing it in. It's fallen for Camera. Well, he's claiming handball. Now, how much of a connection does Dubry's hand make with this ball here? There's definitely some, because the ball moves away, doesn't it? And it did stop it reaching Camera. Came off the arm of Aston. Doyle in the middle again. Sonko, Dubry, Gunnarsson, Kitson. Great ball in! Niemi really struggling. He did it ever so well in the end, just to keep that out as it bounced in front of his goal. Slight touch here from anybody wearing blue, and it really must have been 2-1. Now Aston. Hanneman thought about coming, then went back. Nodded clear by Dubry. Simon Davis keen to keep it in. And he's one-on-one against Shorey. Trying to work something here with Healy. Healy away from Hunt. Great ball in. Cucci arriving! And somehow it's in! Fulham 2-1 up. It's Clint Dempsey that pokes it over the line. Healy does well to just sit this up far post. Cucci in there so strongly. And Dempsey just toes it over the line. And Reading, who've asked most of the questions in this second half, now find themselves behind again. Now if Cucci can help this on, and he can, Simon Davis is in space. Healy needs to stay on side in the middle. Simon Davis for Healy to wrap it up! It's 3 points for Fulham. And it's relief all around Craven Cottage. Terrific delivery by Simon Davis. What a game he has had today. And David Healy is his first goal since the middle of August. That's what it feels to get your first win for over 2.5 months. One or two choice tackles going in now. That one from Omazuzi, who's already been booked. It's a red card. Elliot Omazuzi, the 18-year-old, sent off in the last minute of injury time for a second yellow.
Well, Laurie, that second win of the season has been a long time in coming. What's the overwhelming emotion afterwards?
It's been too long, you're right. Not relief, not surprise. I think we've been very good, but we haven't got over that final 10 minutes. I think when the 10 minutes went up on the clock, everybody in the crowd took a deep breath and said, what's going to happen this week? We showed them in the only way you can, which is to go on, not only win, but score another goal in that time and finish it off.
At half-time, I had a dressing room full of players who thought they were well capable of getting a result and not just a draw. You know, it's ironic almost that having got back into the game, then we lost our initiative a little bit. Maybe we unconsciously just relaxed and tried to take a breather before we went again, and they took advantage of that.
Mikel Arteta is back as Everton make 5 changes after the League Cup win. Tim Cahill, who scored the winning goal at Luton as a substitute, is also a starter. Birmingham's French signing Olivier Capo is their top scorer with 4 after his late winner against Wigan. So Birmingham in the all-red. The last league win at Goodison was way back in 1957, half a century ago. Oh, chance here, surely. Yes, he must, and he has. It's Yakubu. And it's taken Everton less than 10 minutes to make the breakthrough. Lovely little through ball by Arteta. Just nonchalantly slid it through, and the return ball to Yakubu, whose contact wasn't great, but it was sufficient to put the ball past Mike Taylor. Birmingham have had 1 win away from home this season, 1 draw and 4 defeats. Could be defeat number 5. Oh, there's a chance here. Oh, good save by Tim Howard. After Olivier Capo had shown his quality by wriggling through that Everton defence. Had Tim Howard at full stretch. Giroud is dispossessed by Yakubu. Oh, and Taylor's got them out of jail. He is a handful. He's just such a big, powerful presence. Trying to lift it over Mike Taylor, who prevents his side from going 2-0 down. Philip Neville. Pienaar. Got good crossing. Lee Carsley. Oh, well, that would have been one for the scrapbook, Lee. Difficult skill to volley a dropping ball like that. Now Philip Neville galloping into acres of space down this right side. Now Pienaar. Can he deliver a pinpoint cross? Back to Neville, who chips it in there. They still can't get the second goal. Here's O'Connor now for Birmingham, and there's space beginning to appear all over the place. Here's De Ridder. That was blocked by Carsley. It's going to be a corner. Well, when Everton scored their first goal after, well, just 9.5 minutes or so, they might have felt they were in for a comfortable afternoon against Birmingham City, but it hasn't turned out that way. And Birmingham now with lots of firepower as they take this corner. Oh, and they've got their equaliser, and it's Capo! And Everton are paying the price of not having made the game safe, having scored early and then squandered other chances, and that seemed to come off the shoulder of the defender, who might have been Philip Neville. Well, this really has become an excellent match. Here's Yakubu trying to get inside the fullback, and he has. Here's Pienaar, cuts it across. Oh, and it was deflected. And James Vaughan, just on as a substitute, holds his head in disappointment. He got the contact, and it hit Giroud, and it's still 1-1. Here's Vaughan. This will be an Everton throw. They're scrambling to take it. Gravison comes across, says he'll take it. Leaves it instead to Philip Neville. He waits for people to push forward. Lescott's in there, looking for the flick on. Almost falls at his feet. Oh, here's Lee Carsley. Oh, Lee Carsley! They've lifted the roof off Goodison with a winner in added time. Lee Carsley from the edge of the penalty area, and he'd arrowed into the top corner. Taylor got one hand on it, but Everton are worth the 3 points, although they made it difficult for themselves by not putting away earlier opportunities. Carsley's header. Here's Vaughan. He's got beyond the last defender, and it's 3. Everton will win their 4th game in succession. It's turning into a very good season for Everton, but those 2 late goals have really masked what was a great fight back by Birmingham, which in the end just ran out of steam. And Steve Bruce's face says it all.
I thought we started the game really well and should have been 2 or 3 goals up at one point, but maybe a little bit hangover from midweek in the League Cup, you know, the extra time at Luton.
We certainly didn't deserve that, what happened in the last 30 seconds, but we'll have to learn from it. We've been naive at times with it, but that's another one. We'll go home and think, well, we've been to Everton, we've been to Man City, we've done well at Stamford Bridge, and could have took something out of the games. We must keep learning.
With the players we have, and we all believe in ourselves, and we know we can finish in the top 6 in the league, and at the moment everything is good, which is unbelievable.
I said to the lads at half time, one of the things I had noted down I was going to say to Lee was, would you stop shooting for 30 yards, because you know you'd had 2 in the first half. There was a side foot which was a real poor effort. There was another side foot from I think inside the box, but just warned to go his gloves, and I thought I'm going to tell him to stop shooting, so I'm glad I didn't, and I forgot to do it at half time, because he scored a really good goal.
Managers often at the best when they say nothing. Birmingham have not won at Goodison for 50 years, the way it goes on, but it's always been a tough place to go.
Yes, it's a difficult place to play because from the beginning of the game, you know, they are putting pressure on you. The stadium is, you know, small, and they know that they are not a great team, but at least at home they have to show that they are the one, and they're making the pressure on the opponent.
They have been a great team occasionally over the years.
Not when you played.
They were all right.
Yeah.
Weren't bad. A much-needed victory in the other game for Fulham, and got over the tendency to lose leads.
Well, it's
especially
the 7th time they've taken the lead, and the first time they've actually converted that lead into a victory. So that was massive for them. And also, Healy scoring first time since August was big for them as well.
OK. Our next match saw the managerial league debut of Juan de Ramos. The new Spurs boss faced a trip to Middlesbrough. Both sides went into the game in the bottom 4. Alistair Mann was at the Riverside.
Jonathan Woodgate's hamstring problem, just the latest absentee for Gareth Southgate to contend with. His selection was pretty much made for him. By contrast, Juan de Ramos has made a statement in his 11. Out goes the Berbatov-Keane partnership. In come Benton Defoe. There's a league debut for Kevin Prince Boateng in centre midfield. Bit of space for Young. Helped on by O'Neill to Tunchai, and the assistant said the ball stayed in play, and a real opening for Middlesbrough, and O'Neill's cross flashes across the goal with Downing going into it. Well, it was all about the assistant's call, and MOTD said this hadn't crossed the line. Spurs said, well, it has to have done, and meanwhile they nearly conceded. Downing within a whisker. Here's Young. Tackle by Malbron. It's a lovely ball as well to release Bent. Defoe scampering towards the penalty spot. Bent's going alone, and it was a terrific decision. Wow, he took that well. No emotion from the manager. He just walks away from the side of the pitch to have a quick word with Gus Poyet. But it was his decision to give Bent and Defoe the start today, and Bent has responded. It's only his second goal in the Premier League this season, but it was taken with aplomb. Well, he's certainly not giving away what he's feeling inside, but it's a good start. Boateng, Lee, Malbron, Bent, Genus, Defoe, trying to find Bent with the flick with the outside of the boot. Defoe retrieves. Bent wants it! Oh, it was nearly the most exquisite of combinations between the two forwards. Defoe with the acceleration to get round the back. Bent with a run to the near to provide him with an option, and it was almost perfection. Here's Downing, who is Middlesbrough's top scorer with 3 goals. Fouled by Boateng. Mike Dean certainly not issuing a card for the challenge. Rockenbank to deliver the free kick. Posse of players trying to get on the end of it, and it was a good guide away by Robinson. Ali Adier got the faintest of touches on this. Just got there in front of Catamol, and it was a good save by Robinson. Well, there's little doubt that Gareth Southgate has sent his side out with purpose and with his words clearly ringing in their ears. And as a result, the fans are responding too. Here's Taylor. Tunchai, nice play. Taylor hit it too flat. Well retrieved though by O'Neill, who brings in Young to hit one. Oh, that is fantastic! The boyhood Spurs fan with a dream goal against Spurs. But that is fantastic from Luke Young. What a goal, what a strike. Invited to hit it, and boy did it. Like an arrow, it
just was too powerful to stop. Here's Genus. Untimely slip by Dawson. Ali Adier has pace. He's got the better of Dawson. Just gone too far wide, really. Claims of handball. The assistant on the far side says no. Mike Dean waves his arms and says definitely no. It's play on. And Dawson was certainly most at fault when the chance came from Middlesbrough a few moments ago, and then there was an accusation of handball. It does strike his fingers, no question. Was there intent? The referee said no.
We all accept that the position we're in, we're going to be criticised, and we know that the supporters aren't particularly enamoured with us at the moment. But we're not playing a team today that we're going to roll over. They've got a new manager, they've got class players, they should never be in the position they're in. And to come from a goal down at half-time against them was very important for us.
Gus, what's your assessment at the end of the first week?
I think it's quite positive in terms that we won the first game in charge. We got that result today, even if we were looking for the 3 points. I think we improved a little bit, not a lot. We had to keep working, but quite happy with the attitude of the players as well.
As the ball was rolling towards you, was there just one thought in your head?
Yeah, I mean, I was running onto it so quick that I thought the only thing I can do here is hit it, and you know, luckily enough, like I said, it flew in.
When in doubt, whack it. Good comeback from Middlesbrough. Are you surprised to see Tottenham struggling so much?
They need time. They need time. They have a new coach. I think they need time to work a little bit, like he said, you know, to become a team. Because they have some individual players who are at the level, like Keane and Berbatov, that he have put and left on the side. But I believe that they have to work again on the tactic, on the pressing, because the defence is suffering a little bit too much, yes.
Can Ramos and Poyet, is that the dream ticket for Tottenham?
Poyet for sure, and Ramos for sure. They will try. They will try at least, because they are experienced coaches. For Ramos, I mean, in Spain, he's been, you know, training and coaching a lot of team, and I think he's at the level to lift a little bit Tottenham.
Spurs have consistently had their problems this season, losing Leeds, and against Middlesbrough this time, well, they couldn't do a lot about it. It was a wonder goal, wasn't it?
Just a touch. It's like just look young, unbelievable, and I think first of all, it's a fantastic hit, but great to see for Middlesbrough supporters that they've come back into the game. That is like you say, 3 goalkeepers ain't going to save that. Yeah. It's such a great hit. Phenomenal.
I mean, Middlesbrough have had 1 or 2 players injured. Do you see them as a side that could really struggle this season? Or?
Well, they are struggling. And I think that goal was vitally important for a couple of factors. One, if they don't get that goal, there's no good news next week, in as much as like you're beaten again. You're in the training ground, it's all gloom and doom, whereas at least you can build in that, you know, you can build in that result. Like Gareth Southgate said, even though Tottenham are struggling, they've still got class players, they're not going to roll them over. They play Bolton next week. What a game that's going to be.
Be a biggie. Before we bring you the remaining 2 games, a reminder to watch Match of the Day 2. West Ham versus Bolton is the featured Premier League clash. Join Adrian at 10 o'clock on BBC 2. Earlier on Sunday, you can see live coverage of the New York Marathon. Paula Radcliffe amongst the starters, BBC 2, 2:15. Back to the action, our next game sees Wigan looking to reverse a run of 5 consecutive Premier League defeats, take on a Chelsea side who've scored 10 goals in their last 2 games. Wigan's first ever game in the league saw Chelsea score a cruel last-gasp winner.
Hernan Crespo has broken hearts.
Chelsea's next visit saw the home side fight back from 2 down, only for history to repeat itself.
And Chelsea's late show has been repeated.
Guy Mowbray was at the JJB to see Chapter 3.
As Bradford City's manager, Chris Hutchings' only Premier League win came at home to Chelsea. Now the man who was once the Blues left back needs the unlikely to happen for Wigan against the current free-scoring Chelsea, who have Wayne Bridge at left back today, free from injury and suspension to play his first league game this season. Brown managed to thread one through to Paul Sharner. Cross was intended for Bent, who goes down, and Kumas comes in behind. Well, Bent is being watched by both Belletti and Alex. Now Ben feels that Belletti was putting too much pressure on him. Drogba. Right, Phillips. He's burst between Lanzat and Kilban. And that's Lampard! Carrying on where he left off in midweek. Well, Wright Phillips found it too easy to get past the half-hearted challenges. It's a super ball in, and you just knew that Frank Lampard was not about to miss. That was weak from a Wigan point of view. That was brilliant from a Wright Phillips point of view. And the finish was elementary. From Grant and Henk ten Carter in discussion. Never quite totally happy with their lot, are they? Picked in brilliantly by Wright Phillips. Belletti ghosts past Denny Lanza. Essien in support to the right. Belletti will shoot! That is quite magical! This might be all over already. Brilliantly kept in by Sean Wright Phillips. Kilban was contesting that call, or lack of it, and away streaked Belletti, supporting runs from the left and the right, but he only had eyes for goal. Look how it opens up as Bramble doesn't know which way to turn. That's a ferocious effort. The only question about the Chelsea second goal was, did Sean Wright Phillips keep that ball in play? And the Chelsea winger was in no doubt. More importantly, the man in the middle and the man with the flag weren't in any doubt either. Drogba. In comes Titus Bramble strongly, fairly despite Drogba's claim. Kumas, again too slow. Wright Phillips is winning everything down this side for Chelsea. Might fancy a goal himself here. He'll certainly test Chris Kirkland, and he's catching the eye. Difficult not to in that shirt. Drogba. Chelsea asked for handball. And they receive the decision too. Consultation goes on involving Bramble and Sharner. It's Sis Grankvist who puts his left arm out, shovels it away from Lampard. It's Drogba who's teed himself up to strike. How close was that? Very. Kirkland was stranded, it just about grazed the bar. Lampard. Engineered out to Sean Wright Phillips. Beautiful pass from Lampard. Wright Phillips v Kilban. It hasn't been a contest so far. Kilban needs help from Kumas. Poke through for Lampard. Straight up Kirkland. Only the finish lacking. It was well worked by Chelsea. Neat work from Sean Wright Phillips, and Lampard was wonderfully well picked out. It's Marcus Bent. Sibierski flags up anyway. It's a great save by Petacek. First bit of interplay between the front two as Wigan have up there now. It's Bent and Sibierski looked in line. It's through for Valencia. 4 Wigan bodies in the box. Sibierski! Chance is coming for Antoine Sibierski. Super cross from Valencia, and I think there was a little deflection, which meant that Sibierski, yes, it comes off Alex, and that just makes it all the more difficult for the Frenchman.
Do you feel perhaps in the first half your players give a little bit too much respect to the opposition?
Well, I don't know about too much respect. We had a bit of a game plan just to sit off them and make it difficult, and then Lampard pops up as he often does and scores a goal, and then we can see the second one. So a little bit disappointed on the first half performance, but all credit to the lads from the attitude that they showed, especially in the second half, of taking the game to them and causing them a few problems.
There's games where you can open up and score more goals, and there's games where you have to tighten up, and that's what we've done consistently over the last few years, and we should never lose that bit of spirit and that willingness to dig in and protect what you've got.
You're definitely involved in the title race again, as if you ever weren't. I guess a draw at Arsenal today suits you as well, doesn't it?
Yes, first it's good that we are winning, and second, of course, we will not even win forever, and also Arsenal and Man United, but we are back in the race again. It was not easy after a very difficult time, but this is part of our character, to play good football and take points. And the reward for this that we are back in the game again.
Yeah, they're certainly back in the game, Marcel, and considerably better off than they were a few weeks ago, the last time I spoke to you.
For sure. We can say that Avram Grant is very lucky to have professional players, because they are having often meeting, saying to themselves, like, come on, guys, let's enjoy. Let's play, because we are quality players. It was so beautiful when we have won all these trophies. Then let's try again in the league to come back at the level, because chances are there.
And a number of their best players have returned to the side as well at the right time.
Yes, also this is very important. I mean, we're going to talk about Drogba for sure. I mean, he have bring also a lot of spirit in the team, and you're having also players like Sean Wright-Phillips who are not happy because they were left in the bench, but now that they are coming back, then they are trying also, to lift the level of the group. Then this is very good. Competition is coming back inside the team again.
Can they compete, do you think, with Arsenal and Manchester United? Can they maintain that title challenge?
They are there. It's too early for the moment. Let's see, because if they have any defeat again, let's see, maybe they will react in a negative way. Then let's wait a little bit. But they are there on standby.
Oh, they can compete, all right.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Too many great players not to be able to compete.
And so far, so good for Avram Grant.
For sure.
Well, he stabilised the position. Last time we did it when Marcel was against Manchester United, where they were in total disarray. But they're stable now. They've got some of the better players back. Very professional performance today against Wigan.
And as for Wigan, well, their demise goes on. They had a good start to the season, but haven't won for ages.
Well, it's 6 straight defeats, 13 goals against, 4-4. They're away to Tottenham next week and then Arsenal the week after, all the very, very best. But Heskey's such a big player for them. If they get him back, then it could change, but they have to start getting results and quickly.
Sure will. Our penultimate game this week was the day's late kick-off at Ewood Park, where Blackburn, who've won their last 7 games, took on a Liverpool side still unbeaten in the league this season. Jonathan Pearce saw this one.
Benny McCarthy looks for a 6th goal in 5 games as Blackburn seek an 8th win on the spin. Oyer, Warnock and Emerton returning. Stephen Gerrard's netted in his last 3 and enters a crucial 4 days with Besiktas a must-win game on Tuesday. Sissoko, Benayoun and Babel in for Alonso, Torres and Voronin from the draw with Arsenal. High and hanging for Rocky Santa Cruz. Flick on by Pedersen. Bentley, chance for Blackburn. He's dragged it a fraction wide, and it was the best opportunity of the game so far by a long, long way. Direct football, lovely flick by Pedersen. Got away from the tackle. Good judgment by the goalkeeper. Just there, dragged it and flicked the outside of the post. Samba unopposed. Benayoun, who hasn't really got into the game. Maybe now he will. He's got Gerrard to his left. Babel, counts at the far post. Babel stung the hands of goalkeeper Friedel, but he got it away. Fortune favoured the Blackburn goalkeeper there. Babel with Liverpool's first real effort of the game. Cuts inside onto the right foot, and luckily it fell to a Blackburn player. This is Rocky Santa Cruz. Morton Guns Pedersen, Carragher's header, and it drops here then for Dunn. Oh, lovely effort, deserved the goal. Pedersen's coming in. McCarthy. Here's Bentley. Off Finnan. Dunn again. Dunn through once more. He's limping, David Dunn. It was worthy of a goal. Chest trap. Second touch. Boom. Strong end to the first half for Blackburn. Finnan, here's Cout. Oh, he's through. He's got Gerrard on the far side of the penalty area if he looks up. Gerrard's trying to get across his man. Cout dithered and dallied, and the chance was gone. A bewildered look. The tackle was missed. Gerrard makes that run, and nothing happens. anguish. Emerton, Roque Santa Cruz. Held on to it well. Emerton. Feeds into the path of Bentley. Quick cross. Carragher, as always, aware. First yard then was in Carragher's head. Bentley with it. Oh, here's there. Carragher. Now did that hit her hand? Did it hit his arm? Carragher, who was involved in that penalty incident in the Merseyside derby just a couple of weeks ago, survives another scare. It bounced up and seemed to hit him on the flank from that angle. From that angle, though, you can see it hits an arm, and the arm was raised. But he was very close to Oya, and it would have been a tough decision. Free header, and a chance for Blackburn's Roque Santa Cruz. Should have scored. Count. Gerrard's continued the run. He's in here. Steven Gerrard! Parried by Friedel. Gerrard denied by Friedel. Struck it well enough. Rising, but too near the goalkeeper. Kuehl has certainly made a difference. Cross by Risa. It's a Liverpool corner. It's their best spell. And Gerrard couldn't convert their best chance of the game. Liverpool beginning to pour it on at last. Up goes Crouch, off the line. Friedel comes. Kuehl back in the middle. Blackburn need to get it away. Crouch off the bench, thought he'd won it. Brilliant header away. Bentley saves Blackburn. High in for Crouch, the set up for Gerrard. And Friedel has denied his old side a certain winner. Lovely set-up this by Crouch. That's what he does so well, and Gerrard hit it down. Friedel was equal to it. Kopia. Mascherano leaves it for Kuehl. And he could still go on here. Nelson jumping with Kuehl. Kuehl's headed down. Dirk Coutts in. Count! Oh dear. The ball could be still bouncing down the main road to Darwin for all I know. Down there by Nelson. Couch to Crouch, looking for Gerrard. Samba heads it straight down to Couch. Dirk Coutts for Liverpool! They have been by far the stronger side in the last quarter of the match.
In front of
30,033 fans have seen Dirk Coutts going so close to winning it for Liverpool late on. Is it fair to say you looked at a more dangerous side once you'd sent Peter Crouch on?
Yeah, when we had Harry and Peter and Gerrard in the right side, we had more offensive players, players that could go forward. So it was easier for us to create, and also because they were a little bit tired.
We played 3 of the top 4 and none of them have beaten us as yet, and we're taking points off them, so we're delighted with how the season's progressing. We're going to have to sustain this run for a long period yet, but we're showing great signs that we can go up against the top teams and give them a game.
A very resilient outfit, but 6 draws out of 11 now for Liverpool.
Well, Blackburn is a hard place to go and win. You know, they're playing so well in the Premiership this season, but and Liverpool definitely played better in the last 2 matches than they played in the previous 4 or 5 against Arsenal last week and today. It's just that when Torres isn't playing, you wonder where the goals are going to come from. They've had a lot of draws, a lot of times that they haven't scored. In this match today, the last half an hour, they should have won by 2 or 3. Even though Blackburn might have had a penalty kick, Liverpool should definitely have won the match. I mean, they had 3 or 4 great opportunities. I think
most of them fell to Dirk Coutts.
Well, this is a fantastic opportunity. He's cleaned through here. I mean, just there. If he plays it first time right across to Gerrard into that space he's in, but Sam actually goes the wrong way. No, he's got to take. I mean, he just takes it in there and hits it. But for some reason, he dwells on it, takes too many touches, and then it comes to absolute nothing. And you can see the anguish in that man's face. He cannot believe it. It's not in the back of the net. Then the next one, Huell, who's come on, does well. He wins it in the air. Cout comes in. I think that definitely he's got to hit this first time. Don't take a touch, because he takes it away for goal. And then the last bit of play, I think he does really, really well, but he just doesn't find the net again. You know, Marcel will tell you tireless in his endeavour.
Yeah.
It's a great hit, and he's desperate and unlucky there, but I don't know if he's an out-and-out goal scorer. You know, I think that he plays down the channels right and left.
What's your opinion of Liverpool, Marcel?
Missing of lucidity and confident. I believe
Torres.
that. Sorry?
And Torres to score the goals.
Yes, I mean, he's not at the level yet, and the confidence will bring him back, but the team for the moment don't manage, you know, to
But
go
I'd still be relatively optimistic. You know, the way they played against Arsenal, the way they played tonight, they win the game in hand.
Yeah.
You know,
decent penalty shout against Jones.
Well, again, I've seen them given. You know, this is the thing. It wouldn't be such a big shout as we saw against Everton a couple of weeks ago, but certainly this is a way a defender will go and block the ball, but it definitely hits him in the arm. There's no doubt about it. The referee's in a good position.
Position is fine.
You can see that categorically it hits in the arm. But I've never ever seen a defender in that position go like that and try and block it like
Well,
that.
you've got to go in like
they always go like that, exactly.
OK, thank you. Our final game this week is Aston Villa versus Derby, and rather in keeping with the theme of the programme, another side searching for a victory at a ground where they haven't enjoyed much success. It's almost 20 years, in fact, since the Rams last earned even a solitary point at Villa Park. The commentator was Simon Brotherton.
Both sides make 3 changes. Scott Carson and Nigel Reo-Coker return after suspension for Villa, who also include Luke Moore from the start. While Derby are without striker Kenny Miller, who's injured, Steve Howard replaces him, with Andy Griffin and Dean Leacock also coming in. Leacock to act as a shield in front of the back 4. Pearson. Leacock only finds the head of Zat Knight. Towering header from Dean Leacock. Now it's Howard. Early tester there for Scott Carson, inside the first 2 minutes of the match. Howard's been on the bench for the last couple of games. In today for the injured Kenny Miller. Billy Davis urging his players to be more aggressive. He thinks they're too much of a soft touch, too quiet, too nice. Neatly done. Agbonlahor, McEverley getting back swiftly and well. First corner of the game for the home side, inside 3 minutes. Zach Knight and Martin Larsson up for this one. Knight nearly got his head on the end of that one. Oh, and a good save by Bywater, although I don't think he knew much about it. Well, Knight scored from a set piece on his debut here against Chelsea earlier in the season, and he wasn't far away this time. Pearson up there with Luke Moore, and it's given us a handball against the Aston Villa striker. McEverley's kick nearly fell to Barnes. Wasn't a bad effort. Well won in the air by Howard. And the snapshot from Craig Fagan. And Agbonlahor. Watched by Davis. This is Reo-Coker. Petrov trying to feed it through. Reo-Coker away from Davis here. And away from absolutely everybody else in a claret and blue shirt waiting in the centre. Baumer might fall for Agbonlahor. And it is no more than an inch wide. Agonisingly wide for Agbonlahor. Ashley Young away from Griffin. Fouled by Teal. I think Young was waiting for that challenge to come in. Zat Knight up for this one, Melberg as well, and Larsson. Real height in the Villa attack. Gareth Barry, and and Lawson couldn't miss from there. It's taken the best part of an hour, but Villa are ahead. As the kick came over, all eyes on the big men, but it was Barry coming in beyond the far post and Lawson with the goal. It's his third of the season, Villa's first of the afternoon. Villa 1, Derby 0. And at last, a real noise emanating from the whole tent. Coker against McEvoy. Oh, McEvoy's given the ball away here. This is a great chance. Akbon Lahore, saved by Bywater. Will Young get there first? He will. It's 2. And you can't see Derby coming back from this. And they contributed to their own downfall in great part there. Young in ahead of Andy Griffin. Bywater making the save from Akbon Lahore. Smart play by Rio Coker and an assured finish.
I thought there was a period in the first half where it looked as if it was going to happen, but we never kept the momentum going. That was the problem with this, and by half time I was probably quite pleased to see it. But the players galvanised themselves in the second half and certainly did enough to win. It was much better.
But really shooting myself in the foot because we'd worked so hard. That first goal was crucial. We did have some good chances, but in the end, as I said before, that these are the difference between the top sides and the sides that are struggling. That little lapse of concentration.
You enjoy it more when you've been out for a long time, and I feel great physically, and it's just nice for me to be back and play.
So the knee's behaving itself.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I haven't missed a game so far this season, and I'm feeling good.
Before we leave you a glance at the Barclays Premier League table, Arsenal stay top after rescuing a point against Manchester United, who remain second, but they have played a game more than the Gunners. Chelsea's 4th consecutive league win puts them into the top 3. Portsmouth jumped 3 places to 4th after ending Newcastle's unbeaten home record, and Blackburn stay 5th after their draw with Liverpool, which sends the Reds down to 7th. With Bolton not in action, Derby wasted their chance to move off the bottom by losing to Aston Villa. Wigan, who briefly topped the table earlier this season, slip into the relegation zone. There was no dream Premier League start for the new Tottenham manager Juan de Ramos, but Spurs do at least move out of the bottom 3. Middlesbrough also move up a spot to 16th. Well, it looked like United were going clear at the top, but last gasp Gallus makes it game on. Goodbye.